So after the discussion of Ms. Gonzalez about the observation, now I'm going to discuss about the types of observation tools. And we're going to focus about the checklist. Checklist. What is observation checklist? Checklist is basically a method of recording whether a characteristic is present or absent, or whether an action was or was not taken place. It provides a simple yes or no judgment. It is also a strategy to monitor specific skills, behaviors, or dispositions of individual students or all the students in a classroom. It is also a record keeping device for teachers to use to keep track of who has mastered the target or who has not. A student observations checklist is used by teachers to perform an individual or group evaluation on students regarding their behaviors and interaction within the classroom. Observation checklists allow teachers to examine and adjust their teaching practices to cater to the learning needs of their students and determine ways to correct disruptive behaviors, if there is any. So here's the advantages and disadvantages of checklists. Advantages. First, checklist is adapted to most subject matter areas. Checklist is useful in evaluating those learning activities that involve a procedure, process record observations, and fourth is checklist objectively evaluates traits or characteristics. Meaning to say, the advantage of using the observation checklist is that it is a great guide in gathering useful information that can be provide more objective insight in what can be improved in teaching method, classroom setup, and student learning. While the disadvantages, checklist does not indicate quality of performance. So for the construction of checklists here, while constructing or preparing checklists, following point to be still keep in mind and then express each item in clear and simple language. And then avoid negative statements wherever possible and then make sure that each item is clearly yes or no, true or false, etc. Then the last is review items independently. For checklists, for evaluating of students' performance during surgical dressing, this is the example in the column of behavior. There are some lists that for the teacher can be analyzed to the students by keeping mark into the column yes or no based on the student progress. Effective observation checklist consists of student's name, space for 4 to 5 target area, a code or rating to determine students' proficiency, and also a space for any comment. And here are this code of the students' proficiency. So we have frequently, sometimes, and also not yet. This should be seen in the observation checklist for them or for the teachers to be guided on how to do it. Let us now continue with the functions. There are four functions of observation checklist. The first function is for the teacher. It can be a formative assessment focusing on specific behavior, thinking social skills, writing skills, speaking skills, or even athletic skills. The next function is for peers. It is to assess the progress of another students. The third one is for the group. The checklist can be shared and discussed among group members to determine who needs additional help and to see how is the group performed. And the last function is the other function. It can also be used as a performance task. Assessment list, the student's observation checklist, is used by teachers to conduct an individual assessment of the student's behavior and interaction inside the school premises. Teachers can use this checklist to examine and determine areas they can improve to help a student excel academically and develop positive qualities. So from the question, why should we use the observation checklist? I have four reasons provided. The first, it provides a quick and easy way to observe and record men's skills, criteria, and behaviors prior to the final test or summative evaluation of students. The second reason is it provides opportunity to change gear in classroom. Third, the checklist showed teachers and the students the areas of concerns early enough to be able to help students before the test. It provides formative assessment of students' learning and also help the teacher monitor whether or not the students are on the right track. So how can we observe students so that we can fill out the observation checklist? Teachers and parents can also observe children in a variety of settings: classroom, playground, field trips, etc. Or individual, in groups or pairs with a younger children and older odd children, or within with the adults. It is also possible to observe children performed in the variety of tasks. Here are the different examples of checklists. The individual checklist. It is used when students are going to be observed in persistence. The second one is developing criteria, developing specific indicators that describe all the skills, actions, or behaviors that are expected in terms of criteria. The third one is the T charts. It helps students understand what certain behavior look like as an example. It is about the social skill encouragement. So once again, this has been the Loisa Jane Dimoclanga.